tonight I show everybody why Mark Johnson is truly the best flyweight in the world.
I will become champion of the world. Make no mistake about it, America. I will be champion of the world.
It's Johnson versus Johnson for the IBF Flyweight Championship. A great champion, a great challenger, and probably a great bout.
Well, this gigantic crowd is on their feet here at the D.C. Armory, and here comes their favorite son, Mark Too Sharp Johnson. He first won the title in May of 1996. A one-punch first-round knockout against Francisco Tejedor. And now, what about the sacrifices he made to have this fight here in his hometown?
Giving up $35,000 of his purse, wanting very much to have this fight here. It might be the last time he does defend his title here, because he has to move on to other, perhaps more lucrative paydays where they can get the site fees, etc. But meanwhile, as the entrance of Mark Johnson happens, there's Arthur, who's used to this, of course, because every time he fights for a world title, it's in somebody else's hometown, and you saw the kind of sardonic smile on his face, like, yeah, I know what's going on here. It's not going to bother me. And that's an entrance fit for a king, huh?
Worst thing that ever happened is Prince Naseem Hamed, because now everybody wants their long, drawn-out intro.
This intro is not quite yet rivaling Hamed's, but you know what? It's approaching it.
Gives me a little of Apollo Creed in one of the Rockies.
You're right. That's a very good point.
Well, the belt is in the ring.
Mark Johnson getting the adulation of this crowd.
The chant of Too Sharp. Leondis Lily Wilkins, a childhood friend who was murdered in the streets of Washington, D.C. a few years ago, gave Mark Johnson the nickname of Too Sharp. It is a standing room only crowd here in our nation's capital.
Mark Johnson has stamped himself, he believes, and many believe, is the best of the flyweight champions. It has been a very good reign for him as IBF champion, and we take a look at just how he won and has defended his crown. There you see the defenses he has had. They've all been good defenses. Cecilio Espino, a very good fighter, knocked him out in only 2 rounds. Mark Johnson is ready to step up in weight, he believes, and waiting for him there, perhaps, if he doesn't move up a weight class, could be Johnny Tapia, and that would be a great fight. Johnson, of course, had a great fight himself with Tapia.
For the introductions of tonight's main event, here is our ring announcer once again, Henry Jones.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, Cedric Kushner Productions, in association with the IBF and Budweiser, the undisputed king of beers, proudly presents 12 rounds of boxing for the IBF Flyweight Championship of the world. The IBF president at ringside, Mr. Bob Lee. The IBF supervisor, the Honorable Doug Beavers. The 3 judges scoring the bout on the 10-point must system are from the District of Columbia, Mrs. Sheila Harmon Martin and Mr. Paul Artis. From Virginia, the 3rd judge is Mr. Vaughn LaPrade. The timekeeper is Mr. Floyd Lumpkin, and counting for the knockdowns, Mr. Andre Davis. The physicians at ringside, Doctors Martin McLaren and Dr. William Strudwick. And now, ladies and gentlemen, this is it, the moment of truth. 12 rounds of boxing for the IBF Flyweight Championship of the world. The man in the middle, controlling the mayhem when the bell rings, is a referee, Joseph Cooper. Introducing the principals. First, fighting out the red corner, he's wearing red trunks. He weighed in at 111 pounds. His excellent professional record, 17 victories against only 3 defeats with 10 KOs to his credit. originally from East St. Louis, now fighting out of O'Fallon, Illinois. He's the #1 challenger in the world by the IBF. Please welcome Arthur Flash Johnson. And fighting out of the blue corner, he's wearing the black and gold trunks. Black and white tonight. He weighed in at the flyweight limit of 112 pounds. His outstanding world-class professional record, 33 big victories against only 1 disputed defeat, 24 of those victories coming by way of knockout, and is being called pound for pound among the very best in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, making the first defense in his hometown, the champ returns home, hailing from right here in the nation's capital of Washington, D.C. Here is the reigning IBF flyweight champion of the world, King Marcellus Mark Too Sharp Johnson.
That's what they came to see. Too Sharp Johnson defending his title tonight against Arthur Flash Johnson. Let's take a look at the unified rules for tonight's IBF flyweight title bout. No 3 knockdown rule, no standing 8 count. Fighter cannot be saved by the bell in any round. Only the referee may stop the bout. Accidental foul. They'll go to the scorecards after 4 rounds are complete. Prior to that, it will be a technical draw. There is 26-year-old Mark Johnson, father of 5, 3 of his children adopted, he and wife Samantha. And there is Arthur Johnson getting the instructions from referee Joseph Cooper.
I'm holding you accountable for your corner. Understand? Jim, that's such love. Let's throw some thunder.
And there you get a look at Arthur Johnson, a road warrior in his 9th pro bout. He fought for the title in Thailand, lost a 12-round decision. Then in 1995 went to Albuquerque and took on Johnny Tapia and lost a majority decision out.
Both those fights he could easily have won. They were very, very close fights, and believe me, he is the goods, but so is Mark Johnson. Now, stylistically, the way this fight breaks down is you have Johnson the southpaw, that's Mark Johnson. Arthur, of course, the right-hander. Mark Johnson wants very much, his trainer Ron Jackson said, to get inside and pressure Arthur Johnson.
Round number 1 underway, scheduled for 12. 2 of the best boxers in the world going head-to-head tonight in Washington, D.C.
Now, Arthur has beaten a couple of southpaws as in his professional career, but I don't know that he's faced the southpaw with the skills of Mark Johnson. In fact, I'm sure he hasn't.
In the corner of Arthur Johnson, legendary trainer Angelo Dundee. Angelo said the last time he was in this building for boxing, 1949. Angelo coming off a 51-year layoff. A little right hand for Mark Johnson.
Good right hook. He might have been hurt. Arthur Johnson might have been hurt by that right hand. Look at Mark go to work. Those are the combinations that are so devastating.
And down goes Arthur Johnson here in round 1.
No way should this have happened, but it did.
That is it.
Wow.
Mark Johnson with a first-round stunning knockout of Arthur Johnson to keep his IBF flyweight championship.
The reason Mark Johnson's people are literally beside themselves is not a person in this building, even the most optimistic Mark Johnson backer, expected that. Nobody has done that to Arthur Johnson. There was no reason to expect it to happen here tonight, but Mark Johnson just whacked him for his 25th knockout, and now the concern is about Arthur Johnson. He was really stunned.
7th first-round knockout for Mark Johnson, and there is Arthur Johnson, who had never been knocked out. Getting up, let's take a look. It all started with what looked like an innocent right hand out.
Here's